What is going on, everyone? I'm your friendly neighborhood Delta, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Today we got something a little bit different from my normal content, as I'm trying to branch out here on YouTube, trying to spread my wings, so to speak, or spread some corruption. Now you may be thinking, ew, disgusting, in which you'd be correct, but I promise that exact phrasing will make sense a little bit later into the video, because today we're going to be talking about a weapon that I think is actually quite underrated for PvE content. If you haven't already guessed from the thumbnail and the background gameplay, we're going to be talking about the Pestilence exotic LMG. Now I'm going to be doing a little bit of a deep dive into the weapon, so if that sounds interesting, make sure to drop me a like if you like this video and you want to see more stuff just like this. Subscribe for more Division content, as it always helps me out. Now let's get into my video. So it's no secret that the Pestilence is an incredibly unique exotic LMG. Its unique exotic talent, the Plague of the Outcasts, reads as follows. Hits apply a debuff dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. This stacks up to 50 times. Whenever an enemy dies with this debuff, all stacks are transferred to a nearby enemy within 25 meters. So on paper, this sounds like an incredible talent already. Essentially what this means is, for each stack, meaning one bullet that hits the target, deals 100% weapon damage, and this debuff stacks up to 50 times. And importantly, the second part of the talent states that whenever an enemy dies with this debuff, all stacks are transferred to a nearby enemy within 25 meters. So say for example you have a yellow bar enemy and you kill it with 25 stacks, like it's only halfway up. Once that enemy dies, those stacks are then transferred to a nearby enemy within 25 meters. This aspect of the talent is what makes the Pestilence such a lethal weapon, particularly in PvE. Essentially the Pestilence becomes a sustained DPS monster. You essentially have two main ways to really leverage this talent to your advantage, particularly in high-end content such as heroic invaded missions, which is what's going on in the background gameplay. You could either pick a single target and shoot them till they're dead, which is the way the gameplay loop normally works 99% of the time, except in some special cases like if you're using a skill builder or something. One of the main reasons this weapon is so good at sustained DPS is the fact that it continues to do damage to the targets you're shooting at even while you're reloading, or, and hear me out, shifting your focus to other targets. I found through my play session that the best way to actually play with the Pestilence exotic LMG is to let the corruption kill the enemy you're shooting at, not necessarily getting the final blow with your weapon. You might be saying to yourself, wow, that sounds really counterintuitive, that actually sounds really dumb, I'm not going to do that. But hear me out. Say for example you're shooting one singular target, right? And no other enemies are marked with the corruption. When you kill that particular enemy, those stacks are then transferred to one additional enemy within 25 meters. So the only thing that's really benefiting you is that it's slightly increasing your time to kill on that one single damaged target. Which is fine, of course, you know? You're still essentially reaping the benefit. As I've been saying though, this process can be optimized. Consider for a moment you have max stacks on an enemy. You then have a 10-second window where that corruption essentially is doing 500% weapon damage without you even having to shoot that enemy. You can then transfer your focus to the next enemy that has no stacks on it, and then build the 50 stacks, do the 500% weapon damage to that enemy, which can be built in that 10 seconds. So now theoretically you have two enemies that are now affected by the maximum stacks allowed by the talent. And then consider the fact that, you know, if you shot them to a point where they start dying, that corruption will then spread to the next enemy. And so now you see how the gameplay loop starts to develop. You shoot an enemy's health bar most of the way down, and then you end up transferring your focus to another enemy. The leftover corruption then kills that enemy you were originally shooting, and then transfers to the next enemy. So then you leave the enemy that you're shooting at after the first enemy, and then start shooting the new enemy that is now receiving the corruption because the other enemy died within 25 meters and transferred maximum stacks to that enemy. You could see me doing this in the background gameplay. You could see even during a heroic invaded mission, solo, mind you, this trivializes content. And I'm not even using an optimized build, I'm just trying to buff up my weapon damage, while keeping a good amount of survivability. It should be noted that the Pestilence does not benefit from any increased status effect builds such as the Vile exotic mask or anything of that nature. If you're wondering where you can get the Pestilence, it is available in the general loot pool, so any mission or area that has LMGs as its targeted farming, you can get it from there. You can also get it from random drops within the Dark Zone. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that should do it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to give me a like and subscribe for more Division content just like this. Let me know your thoughts about the Pestilence down below in the comments section. Another note, I just enabled channel memberships for my YouTube channel. If you are interested, please check that out for more information. Alrighty guys, it's been your friendly neighborhood Delta. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace.